So what is the one technique that you can help moms to shift the mindset?
One mindset technique that I like to use to help a mother challenge her inner critic and replace that mom guilt narrative with something with self-compassion is essentially I remind her that her worth is not measured by how much she does, that she is inherently worthy even when she's not doing anything, when she is still, when she is at rest.
If a mom just have 5 minutes, and what is the most effective nervous system technique to shift out of fight-flight mode? How to calm their nervous system.
So hands down, breath work. Just breath work. Out of everything that you could do.
So I, growing up, used to think about myself is selfish. My job is to take care of everyone else. So I get all this guilt and stuff when I start to prioritize myself first. But that's not true. Think about it. If you get sick, you're going to get burdened to everyone around you. And that's the same concept, So if by you taking care of yourself, you are creating peace, like letting everyone receiving your overflow. The peace, the beautiful. And when I shift to this mindset, everything else changes. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Wisdom Inside Out podcast. Today I am so thrilled to have another amazing coach with us today. Her name is Sarah McInnes-Chapman, who is a National Board Certified Health and Wellbeing Coach, whom I connect through LinkedIn because we both are so passionate about empowering moms to prioritize their well-being and find purpose and meaning in every stage of motherhood. Sarah has a diverse background as an operator, the U.S. Air Force. And she's a mom of 3 beautiful kids. She blends her structure with resilience, empathy, guide women toward health and personal growth, with confidence and clarity. Sarah's also offered holistic coaching in lifestyle, habits, stress management, nervous system regulations, identity, mindset shift, postpartum recoveries, and reconnecting with ourselves beyond motherhood. Like 1 every 5 women, especially mother, experience postpartum depression, anxiety. So today I am so excited. Can't wait for Sarah to share her insights, wisdoms to help moms walking life with more confidence and clarity. Sarah, I just want to say thank you so much for being here. Your presence, your connections has meant so much to me. And let's please give a big warm welcome to our beautiful guest, Sarah. Welcome to the show, Sarah.
Thank you so much, Lena. Those are such kind words. I really appreciate the time that we can spend together here. And I hope our listeners will be able to learn a lot today.
Yeah, especially moms. I'm so excited to spare the time to learn all this so we can get to apply in our lifestyle to make motherhood more fun, more with purpose and meaning. Yeah, so Sarah, for people that don't know you, could you introduce yourself a little bit more on top of what I already introduced, and what inspired you to walk these missions, like to empower women to prioritize well-being and tackle life with confidence?
Yes, so I guess I need to start with my own personal and family background. Because we've had this conversation off camera about how our childhood really impacts our parenthood and motherhood. So I just want to share with everyone, how I grew up. So I'm sure you can tell with my accent. I'm from the United States of America and living in North Carolina, so spent most of my time in the South. And when I was growing up, a multiracial household was actually rather uncommon. My mother is from Okinawa, Japan, and my father, he has Irish roots, born and raised in Southern America, so very two different cultures. And with those cultures growing up, it was really interesting to see how there were difficulties, parts of me that had to learn pretty quickly about, emotional regulation, resilience, emotional intelligence, cultures. Sometimes you need to understand the unsaid language of communicating. And that kind of primed me to build a lot of empathy for people. So that kind of goes on, long story short, but I grew up in a household where my mother was a waitress and my father, he separated from the United States Air Force. So I was familiar with the whole family background of duty and service. My mom was a waitress for my aunt and uncle's Japanese restaurant and Japanese grocery store business. So she was like the jack of all trades, part of the family business. And I was also a part of it too. So I kind of developed this huge love for food and cooking. Like it influenced me so much. And that you can see that influence later in how food really impacts your health. Well, it was nurtured during my childhood. But with that, having that military background, it kind of led me to really value hard work, kind of the grit, value that integrity and service and stuff. So that kind of led me to wanting to pursue my own career in the military. And I was very, I guess it was tunnel vision at the time. I didn't even think about anything else. So when I entered university, I was like, okay, so what can I do to kind of help me get to that goal of being in the United States Air Force? And so I went through a commissioning source through the university, and I majored in like criminal justice and Japanese language and literature to get scholarships, and I became a nuclear missiles operator. So that was a job that I did not choose, the Air Force chose for me. And it really, there's a silver lining to it. It was really difficult. It was very, very difficult. The pressure, the intensity, the amount of stress that I was put under, it forced me to grow quickly, but it also, I neglected my health during that time. The stress and pressure on me mentally and emotionally, it was not balanced at all. But did I know that at the time? No, not at all. When I discovered that was when I had my first child, when I became pregnant. And I hope this resonates with other mothers, but when you become pregnant, all of a sudden you have to focus on all the aspects that come with nurturing this life that you have within you. And I started to lean towards my cultural background, the food emphasis, the how you should eat and how you should act when you're pregnant, and then postpartum. In Asian culture, there's a very big postpartum culture around food and taking care of the mom during this time. And I was still active duty at the time with my first child, and I was I called it the middle of nowhere in Minot, North Dakota. I wouldn't call it a frozen tundra, but it does get into the negative degrees Fahrenheit, so it's rather cold. And there are no cultural resources available to me. So I had to learn to piece everything together and to not give up and not be okay with the status quo. So that mentality and mindset kind of carried me through into learning more about how I could help myself and how I could grow and learn and take care of my body. Now let's move forward. That was kind of the seed for it. But what really led me to helping mothers was when I had my second child, and my body just felt so dysregulated. I was so inflamed. I think my brain was inflamed, my body was inflamed for the amount of stress that was put under me, because my second child was a surprise baby. I found out I was pregnant when I was 7 months postpartum, and I had just finished maternity leave. And in my workplace, male dominated, and I mean, looking back on it, I admit that it was rather sexist. You know, they had a bias. They're like, don't you, you know, they're teasing me like, don't you know what birth control is? And you know, you just got back from maternity leave. Now you're going to be gone again. It was that sort of teasing from male coworkers that, you know, it got to me mentally and emotionally. So I wanted to essentially turn that around, and it led to me deciding I just needed to separate from the Air Force. And when I chose that, I was looking for a way to heal my body, and I found a functional medicine clinic. And I only knew what functional medicine was because of a health coaching school that I decided to start, and it changed my life. It really did. And that was what inspired me to pursue health coaching as a profession versus just a way to heal myself. I was like, I want to serve other women now, because we can't just be okay with the status quo, you know, just okay in the mediocrity and the pain and just okay with suffering. So that's where I came from. That's where my business, Mama Duty, came from.
Yeah, so beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that. I love it how you mentioned about, you know, becoming a motherhood. It's just kind of a big realizations, questions, like, because from my own experience, I didn't know all about this stress or this dysfunctional, like, you know, until I have a kids. You know, I thought as much as I prepared to welcome a baby, I didn't really prepare much of the mother I am becoming. You know, the relationship between your partner and with work and with adjustment, you kind of lose that identity that you used to have, and you kind of like wanted the same freedom, the same, but it's not the same anymore. And I realized I wasn't preparing for all those motherhood much as well. So that's why I was a little bit stressed at the beginning when I have my son. But then, like you said, because we so getting used to it, we didn't know much. We think it's okay, this is normal, until you expose, like when you exposed to this health coaching, that's when you realize, no, you don't have to cope this way. There is a lot better way. And the same why I'm doing all these podcasts as well. And then, you know, it's like when I expose to all this feeling, when you feel empowered, feel more purpose and meaning, and that's why you just want to share, right? It's just like you're trying this delicious food, and then when it's so delicious, you're just like, I really want everyone to try it as well, because it doesn't have to be this way, you know. So yeah, it's so good for you to sharing this point. And you know, as we were talking about it, that's the big realizations for me, is that, you know, you cannot pour from an empty cup. So before I thought just by focus on take care of everyone, but when I forgot to take care of myself, it's just like the root of the tree. The fruit and everything, it can so easily get collapsed because you didn't focus on the root properly. So I want to talk to you about the self-compassion, filling our cup first and let people around us receive the overflow from our cup. So what is the one? I know like mothers, they're really busy. They have so like millions of tasks to do. What is the one practical act of self-kindness that a mom can do without having to add on so much to-do list to their daily routine, their lifestyle? If you can help us to introduce any practice that we can help moms.
Yes. So 2 words: strong boundaries. I think having strong boundaries is, for any individual, an act of self-kindness. And I think it's the most practical. It's the foundation. I like to use imagery a lot when I coach and when I speak. Images pop up into my head, and that's how I like to express ideas. So those are listening, think of a rose bush. You, the mother, you are the rose bush, right? And with any sort of plant that you're cultivating in the garden, you prune your plant. You nourish your plant in a way. And so I like to use the mother and the rose bush metaphor, that strong boundaries is like pruning your rose bush. So when you take care of yourself, you're also getting rid of the leaks in your energy that aren't intentional, that are not deliberate, so that you can grow the most beautiful flowers, which is your happiness and joy. That's the quality of your life, the quality of your emotions. And so when you have strong boundaries, you're able to focus on the essentials, the priorities, and you're automatically getting rid of things on your to-do list that are not important, are not from your own internal motivation. These might be things that they might conflict with your values, or you might feel pressured to do. So for me, I think that this is the most practical thing that you can do. Build the self-awareness to have strong boundaries.
That's so beautiful. And I love your analogy of the rose garden. And, it's easy to understand. And sometimes it reminds me of this quote that was saying that, why is my rose garden there's no flowers? And someone was saying, because you're busy cutting the rose out to show off to other people. So your rose garden is no flowers. Yeah, sometimes we like, for me, I learned it the hard way as well because of external validation. You sacrifice, just want to show you're competent, you're strong, but then deep down you are struggling, you need help, and sometimes we need to go back and build our internal world first. And the credential, the external things will follow when the roots is strong, when our internal life is full of peace and calm. Everything else will follow. But because of a lot of people, they don't see much of their internal world. They seem to just want to focus on the external things. And then it's so easy to get collapsed when your root is not strong. So I love how you put that analogy. It's easier, a lot easier for people to understand. And I couldn't agree more. Boundary is very important. It's not selfish. It's not bad. It's just to protect to protect your energy. If we have limitless energy, that's great. We will do anything, but unfortunately we don't. So we need to make sure, because think about it, if you are getting hurt, people around you will get hurt as well. Think about the time when we get angry, when we're not in a bad mood. what is going to come out of your cup, it's just going to be that hurt as well. So looking after yourself is not selfish. You are saving the burden from the effects for people around you. So I, growing up, used to think about myself is selfish. My job is to take care of everyone else. So I get all this guilt and stuff when I start to prioritize myself first. But that's not true. Think about it. If you get sick, you're going to get burdened to everyone around you. And that's the same concept, So if by you taking care of yourself, you are creating peace, like letting everyone receiving your overflow. The peace, the beautiful. And when I shift to this mindset, everything else change. The husband that I always want, the kids that I always want, and you are just that calm energy force to shift the environment. And it's so powerful by just you changing our to fill your cup first. And this is why when we go in the airplane, they said, we have to put on this oxygen mask on ourselves first before we help others. So it's the same concept. We could not help others if we could not give anything to others if we don't have that yet. So I really enjoy that for you to explain that. And so just moving on to the next question, Sarah. Mindset. I think mindset is very important. It's everything. So what is the one mindset coaching technique that you use to help mom to challenge their inner critic? It's the story that we choose to tell ourselves is very important. Whether it's going to be a suffering feeling or it's going to be a happy feeling, it depends on this story that you choose to tell yourself based on the situation or the people. So what is the one technique that you can help moms to shift the mindset?
Okay, so one mindset technique that I like to use to help a mother challenge her inner critic and replace that mom guilt narrative with something with self-compassion is essentially I remind her that her worth is not measured by how much she does, that she is inherently worthy even when she's not doing anything, when she is still, when she is at rest. And I bring up rest because there's so much guilt about it. The perception about resting, the perception about stopping, and the inability to stop and take a breath. Because if I don't continue, then my spouse might think I'm not pulling my weight, or I'm not being a good role model for my children. They have to see that I provide for them. Or the guilt that comes from either learned childhood behaviors from your parents, of the guilt of not doing enough, the need to do more and push harder. So all of that is to say that the mindset is that they're worthy no matter what effort that they put into it. So that's where we start. Like, this is not something that you have to earn. It's not a reward. It's a basic need. And that usually opens up the story to explore what other big challenges that they have with their inner critic. But I do admit a lot of it is around not doing enough or not being enough. A lot of it's not being enough. So that's where we start. And like a quick action step that our listeners can do, if this is something that they're struggling with, bring that guilt to light. Don't let that guilt take control of you and your subconscious and your actions by letting it be this shadow queen or king in the background, bring it to light. So finish this sentence. Listeners, I challenge you to finish this sentence so that you can bring light to what you're feeling. I feel guilty because I'm telling myself ... You just finish that sentence. And then once you bring that self-awareness to what that story is, then we can get to the root of the problem.
That's beautiful. I love it. I love how you start with that sentence, just to challenge the story that we tell ourselves, right? And I love it. Just remind me of this song. What was it? K-pop demon hunter song. It's like you can't fix it and you don't face it. I love it. And just it's like you mentioned, you have to bring it to the surface, and so it's easier to fix it. And I fall for that trap as well, because I could not separate the difference between the person and the action. So the behavior, we all human beings, we make mistakes, but we can change all those behavior. But then I used to tie my worth with the behavior. So instead of saying that I didn't know how to do that well enough yet, I would call I am a bad mom, I'm a bad wife. I just label the person instead of saying there's an issue with my behavior, but it can change, it can improve. I just need to learn a new way that's working. Obviously, this one doesn't work, but I think a lot of moms can't separate that yet, so every time they make any mistake or they feel that they haven't done enough, usually like that's spot on, you feel like you never done enough, but then it's not really the motherhood. I think this is all linked to the root from childhood as well, how you're growing up with the sense of self-worth, in the family with your caregiver, and it just you're constantly feeling you're not enough, and maybe just question as well, is it really just enough, not enough for motherhood? Is it you feel the same with work, with earning money or other things? Then maybe there's a root cause more than just about the motherhood. It's just something that you need to some sort of emotional wounds or needs that it's been there for a long time that you need to bring to the surface and heal it. So I love it how you say start with the awareness, right? I feel like the power of notice things and bring it to the surface, its ability to change the outcome without you noticing. Like you mentioned before, like you were stressed but you didn't even know it was in that autopilot. Until you catch it, until you bring it to the surface, that's when it can transform. So yeah, I love it. Let me repeat this sentence again. I feel guilty because telling yourself what did you tell yourself? So that way you have a better answer, you have a better understanding. Mm-hmm. It's really beautiful. Moving on to resilient and modeling like our children. I think I used to think that parenting is based on what I lecture to them, what storytelling, but modeling, like how you monkey see, monkey do, is very important. That's how the kids learn. That's how we learn as well. We learn better when we instead of reading the note, but we learn better when we get to practice our job, or get to practice someone show up the modeling how it's done, right? It's we pick up that faster than just reading the note or something like that. So Sarah, what is the core components of resilience that translate into mom's daily life, and how does she model it to the kids?
Yeah. So I guess that needs to start with defining like structure and resilience. So I like to view structure in terms of mom life. Frameworks that you use to reduce chaos and fatigue. So we lean on them to support us when we have to be flexible, right? When things just happen, that's what we lean on. And then when it comes to resilience, I can just keep talking about resilience, but in essence, it's your ability to bend under stress, not break, and to be able to replenish yourself instead of bearing down with grit until there's nothing left of you. So resilience, I think the key component about it with mom life is having the skill set and the mindset to be able to keep your battery up. Never let your battery die, because when your battery dies, that's when you burn out. That's when something catastrophic happens to your mental or physical, emotional health. But yeah, those. So that's. I want to start with the definition of those two. How we perceive it in this conversation. And when it comes to, let's see, how we can translate most effectively into a mother's daily life, I would say that it is choosing to believe in yourself. So this comes with empowerment, right? Whenever a mom has a story that she believes about her own capabilities, that's when she starts to become overwhelmed. Overwhelm is when you do not believe that you're capable of doing something. Like you don't feel that you are able to do this. Therefore, the stress becomes so much that you're swimming in your eyeballs of just, oh my goodness, I'm so overwhelmed. So that belief is so strong. It that's the mindset, the story that you tell yourself, your perception, the lens that you see your life and your actions through. And so I think how it, the core of it that affects the mom's day to day, that's when hard things happen, you know that you can handle it when it comes, and you can come back to yourself. And how we model that resilience that we want our children to see. And you probably get super excited with this because I know you love talking about parenting. So I kind of get excited too, because it's such a beautiful thing, because you are learning as your children are learning from you, right? Like you are learning new behaviors, right? And so when you allow yourself that vulnerability of expression while you are stressed, that in itself allows you to have that bend, because when you're breaking under stress, I see it like a tree that's suddenly falling in the forest, and it's who sees you fall, who hears you fall. But when you're expressing yourself and talking about it, your children see that, and they see that it's not weakness to talk about it and take action on it. So I actually had this little script in my head, and I think it was something from 2 months ago that I actually lived it. And it was just the night before, I was just so tired, and so I didn't do the normal systems I have in place. And in the morning, it was stressful. It felt rushed, and tension was high. And I wanted to model to my kids that, it's okay to be stressed. It's okay to be emotional, but I don't want to take this out on you kids. So I think I said something like, goodness, this morning feels so stressful. Is anyone else stressed around here? And, I think my eldest was like, yeah, mommy, you don't look all right. It's just, kids say the funniest thing, but when you invite them into your emotions, they're so, they're on your wavelength, right? And they're feeding off of it. And so when I started to just be funny and truthful about it, that's when, it just started to change. And that's part of the resilience factor. You're allowing yourself to bend. And for us, it was humor. Humor is a big part of our family. We try and make it funny. And, I stated the obvious with my children. So bringing awareness to it, bringing light to it, not ignoring it. I said, we all woke up late today. I did not wake up when my alarm went off, and I didn't wake you guys up. And now we're all grumpy together.
Yeah.
And, everyone is at the table nodding, like, yeah, we're all grumpy. And I told the kids, like, so I'm having a hard time right now. And I know that you guys are having a hard time, but we'll make it through the morning. You will get to the bus stop and we can move on with our day. Everyone good with that? And everyone's nodding, yes. And so I wanted them to see that my tools are communication. And for me, being able to express my feelings and communicate that to other people, that's my tool. Like, I already felt so much better. I'm like, oh, okay, I got that off my chest, instead of like when I repress emotions, that's when I get irritable. I know not everyone is like that, but that's my tool that I want to model for my kids. And so that's the thing. Let me backtrack. So, how to model? First, I let them see the process. So my process was communicating, and then I showed them my tool set. So that communication, getting it off my chest, that expression, and then after that, I essentially let them see me do the hard thing. So the hard thing was whatever action that I needed. And at the time, it was me asking them for help. Asking a 6-year-old, a 5-year-old, and a 3-year-old for help, I think some, not all, but I think some moms were like, you can't ask these children for help. They're so young. But they felt so empowered to help when I asked them to help, to have them involved and working as a team, because that's my goal for my family. I want us to be a team together. So that's my system of utilizing, I guess, structure and resilience. Like, how do I model that for my children? I want them to see the hard work that goes into how we live.
Yeah. Beautiful. I love it. Mother's also a human being, we experience tough, and I'm with you as well. I think I used to be reactive, Sarah, like when the kids, when I'm not in a good mood, I respond, like there's so many ways of expressing, like in communication, right? Like when you feel frustrated, you don't have to be reactive, but because I was growing up, getting used to reacting. When I have my first son, I think he copped the most damage. That's why I talk about my son a lot. But I start changing when I have my daughter. So, like I was reactive when I see whether they have an argument or when they do something. I would just become reactive instead of showing your vulnerability in a calm and confident way. Like the other day I was having a flu, and then I told them, like, hey guys, mommy's tank's only 50%. Like, I really need your help to do your duty. I cannot play with you, your usual, whatever the daily, our connection time. Are you okay with that? Is there anything you need help? Can we talk about it? Is there anything we can do to help each other during this time? I need to rest. I don't have much energy to look after them as usual. And my son was like, Mommy, I'm on 100%. And my daughter's like, I'm on 100% as well. Let me help you, They would just run in to get the water, just give me a massage. And it was like, Mommy, I already done my work. So it just showing that vulnerability. Like, you don't have to be, when you're in tired, you don't have to be reactive. Like, that's what I used to do in the past. But you can just be open, because kids like certainty, right? When you tell them upfront, they know how to deal with that better, and it's just about calming their nervous system as well. So before I take them to like an open school or to a party environment that they're not used to, I will explain the future scene to them as much as possible, so that way I'm gonna prepare this if I'm bored, this is what I'm gonna do. They can prepare, and when they prepare, they will calm. They think they got it under control. So I used to think that judge that kids, they are kids, they don't know much. So I don't explain everything to them, but when I share everything, how I feel and everything, and that is modeling. It's just that you don't let the challenges, the hardship to define you. Like, you can still face it in a calm and confident way, right? Yes, it's very normal in life, so that way when they experience stress, they experience something hard, they don't react as something wrong because they seen mommy did it and mommy faced her challenge, even though she doesn't know everything, but she have the attitude, let's figure it out. That's what true confidence to me. It's not you knowing everything, got it everything under control. It's about you, that self-belief, that let's figure it out together. It's fine, it's that you believe and that's how the kids, every time they make mistakes, they say, it's okay, mommy, I will do this or whatever. They will start having that fixing mode on, instead of, oh, we shouldn't make mistake, oh, we shouldn't do this, because in real life we could not stop the storms, right? So the best, and that's why when you mentioned about resilience, it is like, I'm passionate about that as well. I think that's the core key, that we all need to build that resilience first, and everything else will follow. So I really like it how you break out the concept, the modeling, the process and expressing, and kids, you would underestimate them, that they don't understand, but their survival mode was just focused on the parents' energy. And that's how they know, oh, this is safe, oh, this is dangerous or not, just the way our response to everything. So this is why know how to regulate ourselves, believe in ourselves. You don't need to keep telling them, you have to believe in yourself. The way you're modeling this, they will pick up, because they really observing for your, like, you are their survival mode, right? They just look at, is this safe or this unsafe, or this worthy or this not worthy. It depends on every single thing that you respond to things in life. And by showing up, this is why by regulating ourselves, by taking care of ourselves, the kids just got that manual from you, that script from you. So that's spot on. I love how you explain that, and I know we can go on more on this.
I know.
There's so other important tasks that we want moms to learn more as well, especially like in life, it's impossible to avoid, like stressful situations, like even those we know as mom, like even those we in this field, we think we know better, but everything's new every day when we're taking new challenge, and we still can feel the stress and stuff. It's just how we coping, how we regulate ourselves, but we still feel stressed. I still feel stressed most of the time, but I just know how to handle it better now. So, in terms of stress management, and I love, and I know you love talking about nervous system as well. I think it's the key, how to keep your nervous system calm. So Sarah, if a mom just have 5 minutes, and what is the most effective nervous system technique to shift out of fight flight mode, how to calm their nervous system?
So hands down, breath work. Just breath work. Out of everything that you could do. I think some people might argue that reframing, or even like the positive psychology, but I would say like the most immediate, even evidence-based response is breath work. It is amazing, and it doesn't have to be complicated. The breath gives you life, and it can also give you peace. And it can be so intuitive, just like for mothers who went through labor and delivery. We know when we bring ourselves the ability to be calm, that breath comes naturally during that intense stage of bringing your child to be born. And I do have some favorites. I have my two. But like I said before, just sitting for, did we say how long in our question? Just uninterrupted time?
But
That could be,
5 minutes. I'm really busy. I just say
yeah,
5 minutes.
5 minutes. Okay. So
Okay.
I bet some mothers would be like, I don't even have 5 minutes of uninterrupted time. I would argue, well, even 1 minute can be effective for breath work. So I like to use the body's natural response to stress, which is sighing. Have you ever noticed that when you're stressed or when you're worried, you start, like that's like the physical tell. Then that's like your body's like subconscious reaction of releasing stress within yourself. So why not just do what comes naturally? Spend that time of just sighing out and being more prolonged in your exhale. So inhale and even better if you can stimulate your vagus nerve and hum or kind of, I wouldn't say groan, but use your vocal cords as you exhale out, because that's what people do, right? When you're so stressed out. I've seen my children do this. Oh, mommy, I don't want to do this. That's their. It's amazing how we don't even think about it, and it's already integrated in our day. Like, how powerful can it be if we're deliberate and purposeful of our body's natural response to releasing stress? So that's number one. The second that I like is so it's diaphragmatic breathing. I like it because it is a multitasker. So those who are familiar with physical therapy work, especially in the postpartum realm, and even when you're pregnant, that diaphragmatic breathing helps with your pelvic floor as well as your deep abdominal muscles. So not only are you getting the breath work in that focus and almost meditation of breathing in and out like the ocean and the tides, but you're also contracting and relaxing your pelvic floor muscles and your core muscles, which are weakened and need that exercise after having a child. And for those who have experienced physical therapy after having a child, that is the foundation for healing your core muscles and also healing your pelvic floor muscles, that diaphragmatic breathing. So those are my go-to, because one is a natural body response and the other is a multitasker.
That's beautiful. So breath work, exhale while you're humming, reset, and diaphragmatic breathing. So, and then the last one, sit down and focus on your eye, do nothing. Yeah, so.
Yeah. I don't think I mentioned that one. Yeah. That one, I do admit, doing nothing. That's essentially what I call it. If you have 5 minutes of uninterrupted time, breath work, and then doing nothing. I should have mentioned that. And I think for those in the for those who are very overstimulated, for those who love to get those dopamine hits off of their phone, or they constantly need to have their mind stimulated, or they feel like they are in withdrawal, this is probably what you need to do. The do nothing, which means put all the electronics down, unfocus your eyes, and just sit and just be there and live. You don't have to think, you don't have to do anything. And this is me personally. I find it incredibly difficult. I'd rather do the breath work because I'm doing something. But the reason why this is so important is that it teaches our body and our mind that doing nothing is safe. Doing nothing is resting. We are telling ourselves that we know how to do it, and we're getting in the habit of doing it. So yeah, thank you for reminding me, because that is another thing that I think another technique, I guess you can say, that you can implement in 5 minutes.
Yeah, I use that a lot as well. Like maybe before I start a new project or something, just close my eye, just in that silence, that nothingness. And I have to admit, like you said, it's very hard before, because I was having this belief that busyness is productive, So when you in that nothing mode, you feel like you're wasting time. But then it shift my belief when I heard the story about the two wood cutter. One of them is constantly working throughout cutting the wood in the bush, and the other guy, he's taking the break every lunchtime, 1 hour to go back home. And then every end of the day, the guy that went back home to rest, he cut more wood than the guy that constantly cutting from morning till night. And the guy that after 3-5 days straight, he was like, how do you manage to cut the wood a lot more than me? I didn't even take any break. I cut it through, and you always take these 1 hour to go back home. And he said, I went back home to sharpen the axe. So it's the same with us, that doing nothingness is resting. It's you resharpening your wisdom, your mentality, whatever it is. So I feel just before I start a big task, reading any complicated contract or whatever, just that good, close my eye 5 minutes or even 1 minute just to breathe and being in that silence, it's really give me a recharge, a reset. And I love everything that you mentioned as well. Like I used to be someone that it's really hard to pay attention to myself, because I constantly find something to distract myself all the time, right? Until I learned to meditate. You know how meditate, you observe everything, you scan your body from your head to your toes. So now I become so sensitive in terms of having the awareness of, naming my feeling all the time, like almost constantly, because that now I'm awareness of my body, the change, the everything. I just name, feeling uneasy, or just the minute you start naming your feeling, it's become a lot easier than you stress and you become reactive. And then if you know that, okay, it's becoming strong, you just have to pause and just have to, like what you share about the story you tell yourself and stuff like that. But it's that awareness, ability to notice your body. Your body gives us a lot of information. There's so much data when you pay attention to our body. Like the body know before our brain know before anything, and yet we keep running for more information from external things. But when we pay attention to our body, and before, this is why I'm not surprised, why I have cancer. I didn't pay attention to all this information. Before your body collapse, it probably start giving you information 10-15 years already. You didn't really take it serious enough to pay attention, but your body's always telling you information of what's happening and what help does it need. And then when you are calm enough, when you are focused on your body scanning enough, you know your body really well. So I love it how you mentioned about breath work and all this stuff, and listen to the body. So I love to learn more on as a mother, feeling of not enoughness, and how, and as a human it's impossible to avoid all the mistake. So how do we deal with all this vulnerability, and asking for help? You don't have, I used to be like, think strong people stay silent, just suck it in, whatever, which is in a way I'm suppressing my emotions. I'm not doing myself a favor. In a long term, it's become disconnection and exhaustions. That's not strong, because people high emotional intelligence, they know that by expressing the feeling, naming your feeling, is the way of the way we process our feeling, is the way of building our resilient, our emotional intelligence, not by suppressing. So how can a mom define, like communicate with her boundary without feeling selfish, without have to take it all and do everything by herself? How can she start define or setting up a boundaries without feeling selfish, or why I become burden to other people when she know that she actually struggling?
Yeah. So this is so powerful, and I think this is something that not just mothers, just people, humans, we avoid. We run away from this.
Yeah.
And I mean, just to start with vulnerability, how do we start with that? Well, it starts with practice and trust. You have to choose to start. And when it comes with that vulnerability, it can be really scary to create boundaries, depending on how your childhood was, how your present life, the traumas in your past, the triggers, all of that pops up and multiplies by 100 when you become a parent. You see certain things in your children that, you're just like, oh goodness. But when it comes to boundaries and how to define them without feeling selfish, I think first we need to identify selfishness before we move on to boundaries, because I think many mothers confuse selfishness with your self-interest. And there is a very distinct difference between the two. And the main thing is, being selfish means that, let me pause right here. Selfishness can be harmful. And I just want to list some examples. So, say that you repeatedly ignore other people's needs and boundaries because you prefer it your way and it harms others. Or breaking promises because you just don't feel like keeping them. Or exploiting other people's time, money, resources, care. Making everything seem about you all the time at another person's expense. That is, in my view, selfishness. So it's, you refuse the responsibility, the ownership. And I hope everyone is clear on that. That is selfishness. Which means when you choose to create a boundary that is in your own self-interest, you are honoring your limits. You're protecting your time and energy. You're saying no when you're at capacity. And you're doing things that are good for you, even if someone else might be mildly disappointed in whatever you say or do. And you're doing this with the best intention. That is not selfishness whatsoever. So that's why I wanted to start with this, because I think mothers, we're so giving, we're so compassionate, we're so willing to sacrifice so much, but that sacrifice does not need to be at the expense of ourselves. And we need to change our mindset. Are we being selfish, which means harm? Are we causing harm, or are we protecting ourselves, our self-interest? Okay, now that we have that out of the way, let's start with how we can clearly define and communicate our boundaries. It starts with this. We need to build a self-awareness around the issue. That means we need to pay attention to the signs that our body, our mind, our emotions are telling us first. And this is where it becomes really difficult because our first instinct is to repress it, run away from it, ignore it. So, for example, that tightness or resentment or dread that comes when something happens to you or when someone says something to you, that's usually your alarm going off. Like, oh, someone just tripped the boundary alarm. I don't like this. This is where I think a lot of mothers, especially new moms, they're having to create boundaries to protect their child, not just themselves. And this is a new thing. You know, the child can't say anything yet. The baby can't protect themselves. And so that's the first thing we do. Bring self-awareness around the issue. Identify the real problem. And identify what the boundary that's being crossed. Let me think of an example from my own life. Space. When I was a new mom with my first child, I wanted space, my own bubble to exist and live with my newborn. And I felt selfish by saying that I didn't want my family members to see my child just yet. And I had to identify what the real problem was. And it wasn't until I think with my second child that I realized that it's because I had unresolved tension from watching my parents deal with their parents and their interactions, and realizing that, I wanted something similar, or, I had no control over the situation. So in a vague way, as I'm explaining to you without giving too much personal information away, it was identifying that boundary and, not running away from that discomfort and doing that helps so much to then create the framework to communicate what that boundary is. Because if you're trying to communicate to your in-laws, to your spouse, to a caregiver that's helping you, you have to be specific with your words. You need to be able to say clearly what you want and what you need. And if it's vague, of course you're going to be disappointed because they perceived it in a different manner and they took actions on it in their way because you weren't clear. So that goes to when you finally figure out what that boundary is that was crossed, what the real problem is, and you're not running away from it. You need to create the goal. You have to create the outcome. And once you have the outcome that you desire, well, what's holding you back? If it's such a struggle for you to communicate and clearly define this boundary that's making you feel so tight in your chest, or that feeling of resentment or dread from dealing with this situation, well, what's holding you back from telling them no or taking action on it? That's what we need to explore. Because what's holding you back now may also hold you back in the future.
Definitely.
So the boundary that was crossed now may come up again in the future because we didn't resolve what was holding you back.
Yeah.
So so that's that. And this is all conversations I have with my clients. And it could last a month, right? Because one conversation cannot encompass the childhood traumas and triggers that you did not realize that you had that are holding you back from having a conversation with your parents, your in-laws, or your spouse.
Yeah.
It comes up. Like, I've had mothers tell me that our conversation last week, I wanted to avoid it, but when I was doing the dishes, something reminded me of this and I couldn't avoid it anymore. And now we're talking about it again. So that's the framework that we just went through. So now we're trying to put it into action, right? So we want to actually create change. We want to be confident in asking for our boundaries to be respected, and support in our decisions, right? So what I usually do, and listeners at home can also do this with a trusted person, role play. Practice. Create a script. For some people, depending on how you learn and how you express yourselves, a conversation doesn't seem natural. Writing may seem more natural and fluid. So creating a script and reading it and kind of processing it in your mind may give you that confidence. Me personally, I have to verbalize it. I feel silly kind of role playing it out, but then I realize that the words that I'm using do not match. Like, what I'm thinking and what's coming out do not match. So I need to change it. It wasn't powerful enough, or I wasn't able to articulate enough. So that's why role playing can be really powerful. Another thing that could be helpful in putting it into action so that you're confident in communicating your boundaries is schedule it. Keep yourself accountable. Now that you identified it, you know what the outcome is. You will not know the outcome. You know what you would like the outcome to be. You know what's holding you back. You've practiced with a trusted person, or you've created a script. So you have words in your head that will come out even when you're nervous or scared. Now you have to be accountable. It has to happen. You've prepped it, so you have to take action now. And for some people, I guess there are two sides of the coin, right? Depending on your personality. You can go big and do it now. Like, I scheduled it. We have a coffee date at this time. We're having this conversation. I'm showing up. Some people will be terrified by that. So on the flip side, we can do what I call building your self-efficacy. So building your belief in your success, that you can do it. Let's start with something small. So it could just be little simple conversations or asks, or just to build confidence, step by step. So now that you started smaller with like an easier boundary to gain confidence, or you communicated something that was okay, then you can be, on your way to having those tough conversations that honestly, that like when you become a mother, it's like, oh wow, like there are a lot of tough conversations that pop up that, like if you didn't have a child or a family to take care of and protect, you could probably avoid it forever. So that's my long-winded way of kind of breaking down, kind of like making an action plan, making it step by step. Because if you make it vague, well, communication can't be vague. And if we want to be confident, then we want to know exactly what we can do.
Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe to the Wisdom Inside Out. Stay tuned. Please follow me on this social media platform.